hope. It was probably here, being way too impatient just to open this thing because, for some reason I really want to play with this thing, even though I can, wait half a month to receive my, Legend Sentai Gears. I'm like, no, I gotta play with this thing now, even though it's like, no, you can wait half a month. You've done that with multiple things, because let's look at the pending list right now. See, we have a Mandarake box that still needs to be opened, a CS Toys box that still needs to be opened, we have the Blah driver still need to be opened, we have Emotional Dragon, one book I really want to play with that I'm still having to wait on. Then we got the 01 Final Stage Show that we still have to play with. And then within these boxes, I have Primitive Dragon and Emotional Dragon, or Elemental Dragon. I really want to play with those things, but I'm actually being like, you know what? I can wait, how many times to play with these. But I feel like if the Mandarake package comes tomorrow, then I'll most likely actually open these. I need to put out an unboxing. But these things, I still need to wait on the 01 movie stuff to come in for me. So, they'll be open eventually, but it's like, oh. Then you get the Soto pile. Because, Soto Saber is just like, yeah, I still need, two more Sotos. Then I can put them together. Because I have a Slash coming in, but then, I still need to get Dragon Ignite. Then I have the Genesis Rider set. I want to put it together, but Zarikan's like, well, I want to do something. And it's like, well, great, then I can't put it together then. So, it's like, it's like, I can wait, literally, for these two sets, I had to wait, half, a month or so. A month and a half just to open them. And then with, it's just like, I can wait for, opening these things, but then, it's just like the eagerness and such. And it's just like, just don't give it in. If you don't want to open toys, then just, let them sit until, just let it pile up until, you feel ready. But that isn't the case here. We're hypocrites. It's like, we're just gonna, dive into this because, why not? I forgot I didn't do something, so that's great. That was really hard to cover. This is why I don't like sets. So, I don't remember the Narikiri set being this difficult. And it's only being held by one strand of tape. Wow. It makes it easier at least, but nothing at the top either. Well, mine's ripped, so that's great. Gosh, I'm just gonna back up because this is really a lot bigger than I was expecting it to be. See, okay, so here we have the actual Geardalinger. See, this is the thing I don't like about Bandai sets. They're honestly, in my opinion, the packaging is just too lazy. I justify sets if you're actually going to provide your own packaging, but the fact that they didn't bother here is just what makes it lazy. Because look. Gosh. There goes the Tukai. This is literally the Tukai buckle. This is literally how it's held in. What is this? They did so well with the, They did so well with the Zenkaiger set of actually making that, they didn't, they weren't lazy and being like, oh yeah, we're just gonna, slap together, the Geardalinger packaging and then, do this contraption with the buckle. No, they were like, you know what, we're gonna make a new entire carton for this set because, to actually make it worth it. It's So then, like, essentially, you don't... So then you don't have to worry about the individual release. Here, they're just too lazy and being like, yeah, let's just make it a buckle. Like, let's just make the buckle the exclusive in this. And it's like, no, you don't do that. It's like, wow, guys, like, you really don't want money? I don't know why they don't think this is going to sell. Like, it's a buckle. Like, and it's obviously going to include a gear. So, of course, people are going to buy it. Like, yes, I understand that Sentai is now downgraded to a B-class toy series. Something like that. But that doesn't, like, I don't know. Just really dumb with how they're handling things. Like, this is just... Let's just... And also, at this point, they removed instructions. So, I don't know where the QR code for this is. It's not the one in the inside. Can I just remove this tape? Like, I don't really need it. I don't know. And this itself is just packaged the same way, so it's like, I don't understand why they don't bother with... Why they didn't just bother with proceeding with the individual release of this. It would have been a lot better for me, for consistency's sake, but no, they're like, you know what, forget consistency. You should have just gotten the sets. And it's like, yeah, if I actually knew that you guys weren't going to do this, like, yes, technically, I can blame myself. I can blame myself for... I don't remember how I opened this exactly, but... Like, yes, I can blame myself. Like, technically, it is my fault for not, like, essentially... It's my fault for not, like, being realistic and being like, huh, maybe the Tukai buckle is exclusive after all. Because, you know, I was, like, still kind of hoping that it was going to be, like, a, like, individual release. But no, it's just, like, they just push it like a set. Look what happened to my buckle. Great. This is still stupid. Like, I'm still not really happy that they really thought that selling this, making a buckle exclusive to a set, was gonna be, like, one of the greatest decisions they've done. This is essentially, like, this is literally, like, if, like, the only way to get the, sets holder was literally through the set, like, the Toys R Us sets, like, exclusively. Gosh darn it, what happened to this belt strap? First of all, let's actually take a look at this thing, because it's, you know, just a red repaint, but it's like, it doesn't even matter just because it's a repaint. You guys have always released 6 hero buckles, but here you're just like, oh yeah, the guy that's, like, based off of one of the most popular series, yeah, we're just going to make it exclusive to a set. It's just like, what? Like, no, you don't do that. This is one of the worst buckles I've received. or like one of the worst belt straps I received. Like, look at this. So, yeah, we're somehow gonna have to keep this. We're gonna keep this straight somehow. Like, obviously, if I did have the display, yeah, this looks horrible. Gosh darn it. But here, 2-kai buckle. See, and then like, let's see the box size compared to. So the gear, here's the Geardalinger. So the Geardalinger is at least like. The Geardalinger is at least shorter. The Geardalinger was just a square, not like, you know, like the Geardalinger. So this tape was already like right through and such. So I don't remember what exactly I take out specifically, but okay, this is weird. So the gears themselves are separate. So here's 2 Kaiser. Wait, so this is my first proper gold Sentai gear, because I don't have any of the Legend Sentai gears in hand. But I really like the shine they add through this. It's actually really cool. Then here we have Riki. I don't know why they're not being consistent about this. So here's Riki. And then, see, like, honestly, I think what have made this better is just if they should have just they should have just given him all of his forms. So then, like, honestly, so then you could have just picked up the changer, not the entire set. But here's Katana. And it's really weird that these two specifically have their own, like, Kikai side symbols. Like, I understand they didn't want to just do that, but it's, like, you know, very inconsistent. Gosh, that thing is massive. So, let me just put this all back together. That was, for some reason, the hardest thing I had to put back together. Man, look at how much plastic this is. Like, again, like, just look how you the camera fell and I accidentally pressed the stop record, but look how you can, like, suffocate. Like, I know, yes, I know the warning is don't suffocate. I'm not advocating for that. But it's just like, this fits on my head pretty well. This, it has this like interesting like senses, or this has like an interesting smell to it. I don't know what exactly, but I don't know how long I'll keep this on. Like, yeah, my vision's now kind of blurred, but, this is a really interesting, like, device as a whole. Like, it's basic, it's mostly a pistol. But, like, it's mostly a pistol, but it has this thing. walk to it. I don't even know how I'm supposed to, like, actually turn this thing. I don't know. This wheel is funny to me. And then, like, the sword mode, I just feel like is kind of tacked on. Like, I don't really think it needed to be a sword, but it's a decent length. That's not comparable. Yeah, it's about the same size as the Kogoken Psycho. Other than that, like, I think the issue is that there's not really, like, as we're gonna see, there's not really any, like, specific sword sounds to it. I like the sticker of how it's consistent with the Geardalinger. And that's the thing I really like about this thing in general, is just the colors of this thing are actually consistent to the Geardalinger. Because, you know, that's the thing I typically don't... That kind of bothers me with 6-year-old devices. They're not really consistent color-wise with the main team. This is getting hard to breathe. Other than that, like, I just like how consistent it is overall. Like, yeah, the Geardalinger is primarily... Like, essentially, the golds are different, but, like, look, they actually, like, contrast really well. Like, yeah, the sticker is different, but other than that, like, these are the same colors. The black base is similar. And the reds are similar. It's just really nice how they actually decided to actually make the two coincide with each other. Then the Zenkai buckle. I was going to say Zenkai red. The Sentai buckles. See, this one is a lot more better rounded than this one, but haven't pulled out batteries in a while, so because I haven't been trying to replace batteries, because if something's gonna die, then I just leave it die. I just leave it to die. Because it's just like I'm trying to be more resourceful. And like even this consistency of having the cover on the front, that's actually pretty neat. Let's try to keep this straight. Like, I really like this wheel because it's just a bunch of gears and such. Again, this thing is going to be kind of difficult framing, but... I really wish, again, I really wish there was a mode change. I really wish there was like a button somewhere here, or like a switch somewhere in here that indicated that you switched modes. But, I don't know how much times you do this. Okay, so it's like the Go Careful, or the Careful Go arrow that at max it's 10. It's actually nice you can do that. Um, I actually really appreciate you can do something with it on its own, unlike the Geardalinger, because I think that's the thing that kind of sucks. But anyways, let's do the transformation. Got to keep this straight. I should put the Sentai gears here. So yeah, he still just inserts them like so. Okay, yeah, so the spinning's gonna be difficult, so. I really wish the transformation wasn't so abrupt. I really wish it was quick, or not quicker, but I really wish, like, because he has the Gokaiger transformation sound still incorporated in show, so it's like, you might as well have it in here. Still, you know, nothing. So I guess doing nothing still, like... So I really like, because if you can't really tell, the holding on the trigger is essentially like the Geardalinger's, like, you know, the Geardalinger and like turning this thing. It's the Geardalinger's Gatling thing, essentially. So I like that they can they're very similar, like with the functionality now. You can do that. I was covering the speaker. So that's essentially his finisher. Now the Kikai side, I'm honestly not really too sure how this is supposed to be done. I don't know if you're supposed to do it more technically. I guess that's it. So now we go with Riki. Oh, and different attack sound. They definitely got these sounds out of jail. I forgot how much times I did it. I think that was 14 or 12. How much times do you want me to spin it? Why did I do that? The Kikai's side. So I think that's clear with the transformation sound because there's no... Because obviously a Tukayo doesn't have sounds. So... Why doesn't 2 Kaiser get a finisher? I guess because he does the finishers with these ones. But great. Last but not least, Katana. So here we technically have to use the sword, which technically means I can actually frame it a lot better. The sounds here are amazing. Oh yeah, with the blade out, you can actually fully... Oh, shoot. Well, you can just remove it right here, so... That's interesting. And that's essentially it. So, obviously we're going to pull out 2 examples, essentially how these are handled. I don't have the third. I don't have a Sentai gear, so I can't really show that. But obviously we're just going to take the 2 that are included with Geardalinger. This one's probably my favorite standby. I don't know if that's original. I don't know if this is new. Oh, it does actually say Zenkai, not Tukai. Yeah, so this one just functions like Riki and Katana, whatever. But if we try Jiren, I'll just do the sword. So I literally did not know the other Zenkaijers were categorized under Senpaijer. Well, that's kind of disappointing because I thought it actually did say Zenkaiger. Because again, if we try Gaon. Yeah. That kind of... man, I thought there was actually, like... There goes my cheek. That actually kind of sucks of it, to be honest. I actually thought the Zenkaijers were actually, like, designated differently. I didn't know they got just thrown in with the other Sentais. Yeah. But obviously we gotta try Vroom. What? Wait. I gotta see if this actually does work. Don't tell me they fixed it. Guess what? If we insert this. If we insert this backwards. Okay, that's not a good example. Let's do this. So, okay, if we try it with Riki, then let's hope it works. Man, they fixed it. Wait, am I spinning it correctly? Man, they fixed it. Well, the thing I at least had to appreciate with this toy is a lot louder, because this toy's surprisingly quiet. Oops. Isn't that what it typically says? Wait. Aren't these the two that don't... Wait. Man, they're smart. They picked gears that didn't do any that are the same reverse. Oh shoot. Oh, why didn't Vroom work then? Because he should have. Or he should have. Well, it's hard to tell. Please don't tell me Saber got categorized as Senpaiger. He's not even a Sentai. Gosh darn it. See, it's really hard to tell if it's working because everyone's categorized under the same thing. So it's just like, you know, like, my gene is Flash Man, but I can't tell if it worked. See, this actually doesn't work in my favor. Gosh darn it. Let's quickly do I'm actually not gonna bother doing Riki and Katana because they're just Shinken, or they're Orange and Shinkenger respectively. I'll cover them when I actually do get their gears. But like, it's cool to have the 6 Zenkaigers together. Like, I'm actually not really opposed to 2 Kaiser. I just like how, I actually do appreciate how different he is, because then it actually does make him, like, stand out a lot. And, like, the sparkliness is actually different between the two. That's actually cool. I apologize that I'm doing really poorly with showcasing these, but wow, I actually like the different approaches they took with these. So that's appreciated. So I'm just gonna like, so now we're gonna hack things with the Crane Joe list. So the obvious one to do is super, because essentially the way I do this is that you take this, press it down, then you just simply take a flathead and just simply push these in. Actually remember what the pin is. So how much time do you have to do this? Does this thing have to be spinning? The heck? Nothing's working. Wait. This doesn't work like the Geardalinger. You have to do. So you have to do this. Just literally, like the Geardalinger, for example. For this to work, just simply like start pressing. So you have to do that twice. I think with this thing, you have to do it 4 times. So that's more fun. Which will be really difficult doing when you have to like remember how exactly did this. You can see a flaw that I'm not completely pressing the button. Okay, yeah, this is... Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to study this again. So... See, okay, no. So it still works the same. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Because I'm technically doing things correctly. I don't know if it wants me to do it faster. Or unless it wants me to do it, like, I can do it in reverse. Which I'm losing my grip. Okay, yeah, we're getting no luck. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, cause it's just like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. I just don't know why it's not registering. Because unless it... So this starts with both notches, then the top, bottom, 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 top, bottom, or that was top, 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 then... Yeah, so I think this might be the issue, is that it's not reading because of the paste. So if we like... So I think that's why it's not reading. Because my paste for some... So essentially I had to be really fast with it, which I don't know how exactly I'm supposed to. Because essentially it's like... Honestly, like, I try to, honestly, just say, try to at least imitate Zen Kaiser's, because his the most simplest. So... There. Okay, so we had to be really quick about it, essentially. So... Yeah, honestly, like, this is just kind of... Like, yeah, you can try your fingers, but then, like, I'll honestly just say, just use your thumb for... If you're, like... Use your thumb. I don't know, if you have, like, a fingernail like me... I don't think this will work. Oh, okay, let me try Zen Kaiser's. I messed up. Yeah, it's speed. So that's the thing about like picking at this one. It's all on speed. So that's going to be difficult because obviously like if you try to like pick down here, you might press the top button. Yeah. Okay, so if we can at least try to get super, that would be great. Super should be easy because it's just simply up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But we can't get it for some reason. Or we can't get it because we're not fast enough. So. Let me try. You don't want to scratch this. What the heck? And then for the finisher, just simply, like, just tap. Spin, spin, spin. Honestly, you can just... No, you can't. I was gonna say, you can just simply insert a gear in, but you can't because this thing is down here. Okay, so I'm actually gonna try just to use the flathead then. Then we're gonna try doing we're gonna try doing this in reverse then. I forgot what hand I did this at. I keep messing up. And then... There, okay. We're done. We're done with this video. I feel bad for this thing. Oh yeah, I should probably actually get dressed too. Does this thing work like a tambourine? Yes. Yes, it does work like a tambourine. So that's essentially it for this video. It's fun. It just sucks that it doesn't read all the gears, because that's really disappointing, because literally this thing could have at least been like... This thing could have at least been in something like the mock driver, because I was thinking about it, and it's like, oh shoot, Sentai actually hasn't had a toy that's superior to like drive and whatnot, and it just kind of sucks. I don't know how exactly I'm supposed to display his gears. I'm gonna assume I'm gonna honestly just display them. I'm honestly just going to display them like that. Other than that, you know, that's essentially it for the 2 Kaiser stuff. It's fun, definitely. It is kind of again, the reader's disappointing, but it was kind of like, I would have just at least like name announcements. I don't care about the genericisms, like you know, with these, like, I honestly would have just liked it did have all 5 Zenkaisers at least, but like, you know, like at least with this, like just say Zenkaiser or Zenkaiger, and then have the Senpaiger sound, or like, honestly, I would have liked the Zenkaiger had their own sounds, and then with like the Legend Sentai gears, still have the name announcements, but leave everything else generic. Like, I would have been fine with that. Especially, like, I understand that, like, this toy's not going to do a lot, so, like, you can, like, go generic with the jingles. I'm fine with that, but it's just, come on. You can't even do name announcements? But, as you can see, my hand's really red now, but, this is PowerRider, and I'll leave you people. Bye. Well, shoot, I've got one thing. So obviously, just like the Geardalinger, this thing does have a demo mode. So I forgot you're supposed to hold the trigger and then do this. Gosh, this is actually hard. Because you're supposed to have your, like, hand ready. This is, what the heck is happening? What the heck is happening? So if we try it. What the? This is unreal. What the heck is happening? Why are the sounds overlapping? What is happening? That's the air sound. Zenkaiser doesn't read in here. This is insane. Like, what the heck? That was chaotic.